my name is Marco. I'm a Customer Success Associate here at Cardile. Today, I'm excited to guide you through setting up your new Canon TS702a printer. Cardile offers a fantastic way for your customers to add a personalized greeting card to any occasion. With thousands of different designs, finding that perfect card for those special moments is easier than ever. Let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and unbox your printer. Inside, you will find your Canon TS702a printer, as well as a 50-pack of cardstock with two 25 packs of envelopes, your starting ink, as well as a store decal sticker, some in case of emergency cards, and a setup sheet. And depending on how you want to connect your printer, we would want to have an Ethernet cable handy or your Wi-Fi password. Alright, now that we have everything out of the box, let's go ahead and set these aside. In this step, we're going to go ahead and get the printer set up. So all we'll need are the starting inks, the power cable, a small stack of regular size computer paper, and of course, the printer. The first step, we want to go ahead and remove all this orange tape and all the plastic around it. Now I'll point out some parts of the printer that you'll like to know. This is your rear tray. This is where we will be putting the cards in. This tape is inside the cover. This holds the carriage for the inks. This tape connects the bottom cassette. There's also one tape in the rear. And one piece of tape on your paper output tray. Alright, let's go ahead and plug in the printer. If we flip the printer around, the power plug is located right here. Now go ahead and get that plugged into a power strip. Turn on the printer. After a few minutes, the printer should have stopped moving. So now let's go ahead and open up the cover. As you see, that ink carriage will slowly move to the center. So let's go ahead and install those inks. When opening up the inks, we want to go ahead and remove this plastic. And there's also an orange cap on the bottom. Sometimes there is some ink still left down there, so I'll recommend using the plastic when you pop this cap off, so no ink can splatter on your hands. Alright, now that we have all the inks in, just make sure we hear that click. Once we hear that click, we know that the inks have been installed correctly. And let's go ahead and close that cover. After a few seconds, you'll get a message letting you know that the inks have been installed. Go ahead and press the OK button. Now we can go ahead and close the paper output tray for now. We are going to pull out the bottom cassette. We will be doing an alignment, so that is why we needed those few sheets of computer paper. Go ahead and move the blue guides so the paper can fit snugly in there. We want it to line up with the edge of this tray. can now pop the front cap on and slide the tray back. Let's go ahead and pull out that paper output tray before we start. Let's look at the printer screen. It should be asking you which language you want to select. In this case, let's go ahead and go with English. Next, it's going to ask you if you want to start an alignment to improve print quality. You want to go ahead and select yes. Next, it's going to ask us to go ahead and load some paper in the bottom cassette. Next, it's going to say that the request has been accepted. It's going to say prepare for connection. Go ahead and click OK. Next, it's going to say ready to connect. Here, we're going to hit the stop button. And once it gives us options, we want to select the last one, which says do not connect. It's going to let you know that the connection will not be set up. We want to select yes and click OK. Now the printer will start that alignment and it will last a few minutes. Wait for it to finish. After a few minutes, 2 pages should have printed out. And if you look on the printer screen now, you should be able to see the boxes for the ink levels. Now, let's go ahead and get the printer connected to your network. Alright, before we get this printer connected, let me explain to you how our service works. So the printer and the computer have to be on the same network. And we can do this by connecting it to the same Wi-Fi or to the same router via Ethernet cable as your computer. But once we have this printer connected and registered to your Cardile account, we'll be able to print from any device and from anywhere. So you can print from your house, from across the country, or even the moon if you're able to find a connection up there. To connect your printer with an Ethernet cable, we want to go ahead and plug in one end of the cable into your router and the other end into the printer's LAN port. And that is located right here. Next, we're going to press on the Tools button. This will take us into our settings. Next, we'll find Device Settings, then LAN Settings, and finally, Wired LAN. This first option will allow you to enable that wired LAN connection. After the printer finishes processing, we want to go ahead and select the back arrow until we return to the main screen. You'll notice that the word LAN is in a little box off to the right. We recommend this method for a reliable connection. To connect the printer to your Wi-Fi using the manual connect method, we will first select the Tools button, then select Wi-Fi Setup, then Manual Connect. Your printer should start searching for all available connections. After it finishes searching, find your Wi-Fi name, select it, and select it one more time to confirm. Your printer should then prompt you to enter your password. Use the arrows below the screen to cycle through the characters. And to change which groups of characters you're looking at, select the Tools button. Lowercase letters are on by default. Next will be your uppercase letters, numbers, and finally your symbols. Once you have entered the password, click and hold the OK button for a few seconds. It will ask you if you want to apply this password. We want to go ahead and select yes. After the printer finishes connecting, it should show connected. Go ahead and press OK. We can then hit that back button until we return to the main screen. And now you should see the word Wi-Fi in a little box off to the right, as well as some signal bars letting you know you have that connection. Before connecting the printer to your Wi-Fi using the WPS method, we want to check where the WPS button is located on your router. For example, on this router, the WPS button is located on the front, while on this router, the WPS button is located on the back. If you cannot find or are not sure if your router has a WPS button, please check your router's manual for more information. To start connecting the printer using that WPS push button method, we want to select the Tools button, Wi-Fi Setup, and then WPS push button. Here, it's going to give us some instructions on what to do. First, on our router, we want to press and hold the WPS button. A little light should start flashing. Next, on our printer, we want to go ahead and select OK, and it's going to start connecting. After a few seconds, it should say connected. Once your printer shows connected, go ahead and press OK and hit the back button until you get back to the screen. Here you will see the word Wi-Fi in the box as well as those signal bars. Before we register your printer to your CardIsle account, let's go ahead and load up some cards into the printer. By flipping this up, you will open up your rear tray. This little door is called your feed slot cover. And let's go ahead and move those blue guides to the side. When we add paper to the printer, we want the textured side to be facing out, while the smooth side is touching the back of the tray. Let's go ahead and snug those blue guides, and let's make sure we close the feed slot cover. Now let's head over to your computer so we can get this printer registered. We want to go ahead and open up your web browser, and we want to go to cardisle.com. Once we get there, we want to go ahead and click Login. Let's go ahead and enter your username and your password. Please reach out to us if you still need your username and your password. Once we're logged in, we'll be directed to this page. Here you'll see your printer. Your printer's not registered, so let's go ahead and click Register Your Printer, and go ahead and click on the Printer Connect button. A file is going to start downloading called cardislesetup.exe. Once that finishes downloading, we want to go ahead and open that up. Once it opens up, it will take us to this page that says Confirm Your Network Connection. Let's go ahead and hit Continue. Here, we're going to start searching for those printers. Once it finds the printer, it's going to be called Canon TS700 series. Let's go ahead and hit that Configure button. It's going to go through 5 checks. And once those 5 checks are done, let's go ahead and hit Continue. The next few pages will explain how the printer service works. We want to have the computer on and running the CardIsle printer service in the background while the printer being on with no errors. Once you click those red buttons, we can go ahead and hit Finish. Next, we'll be on the Print Cards page. On this little white box is where we'll be able to enter the pickup code. Let's do a test code. First letter is going to be GD7HW. The code is also on screen now. Once we have that entered, let's go ahead and hit Preview. By hitting Preview, we'll be able to see the design of the card as well as the message. By hitting Edit, we'll be able to edit the message. So now let's go ahead and take some time and let's edit that message. And once you're done, let's go ahead and hit Update. Now you should see the updated message. So let's go ahead and hit Print. After hitting Print, the card and the pickup code should appear in your printer queue. Please note, when the printer starts printing, it will print on both sides of the card. It will print on one side, stick it out for a few seconds, and then bring it back in. Please do not grab the card while it's doing it. And once it's done, you should be able to see the status change to printed. Now you can go ahead and grab the card. Please check to make sure there isn't any visual defects. Please give us a call if you have any issues. Congratulations on setting up your new printer. If you encounter any issues or have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. We're always happy to help. Our hotline number and email address are on screen now, as well as our operating hours. Thank you for choosing Cardile, and happy printing.